Hi guys, it's Brett here. I'm just going to do a quick tutorial here, walking through setting up a customer service workflow. So we're going to use the Journey Builder, KCRM, and the Contact Us app. So this is for a scenario where you want your customers to be able to submit a form, ask for help, and have your support staff assist them with that, have it go through some sort of process where the customer is informed how things are going. Perhaps we ask them for approval to proceed. And then once it's finished, we ask the customer if they were happy with the result. So what I've done here is I've created just a little website called Contact. All I've done is installed the Contact Us app. So if I log into the home page and go away, and what I'll do is I'm just going to go into the settings here. So you can of this editor. Now, you'll probably have a few contact forms on your site. You need to be able to differentiate which ones you want to initiate a contact journey. So that's what this form path input here. So I've just typed in the word support, and we'll use that as an identifier in the journey. You can configure other options, what fields you want to collect from the customer, and a thank you message at the end of it. You might also want to jazz it up a little bit with some text and images and things. But by and large, that is basically all we need from the form side of things. Now, the next thing that we're going to need is a website that our support team are going to use. And this is generally what we refer to as KCRM, or lead management. So I've created this website. I've installed Leadman. I've got a few other apps enabled, but you don't need them. And if I log into the dashboard, what you see is that's just empty at the moment, but we'll just pop a little component on there shortly. Righto, so now let's get to the meat in the sandwich. So we need to create a journey, which is going to be initiated when the customer submits a form and then goes through the workflow that we want. So that's what we've got here. We've got the usual begin node. We've got the contact form goal. And if I look at the settings, you can see I've put support in. So that's so that we're not going to fire off this journey for every single contact form in your site. Okay, now I'll just quickly walk through what we've got here. Now you notice that we've got this task goal a lot. Now, one thing I should explain is we've actually got 3 task nodes. There we go. There's the 3 of them. So this is the one I'm using here. Now, these other 2 require just a little bit of explanation. Right, what you can do in your journey is use this one, create task, where all that step is going to do is create a task and then move on. It's not going to wait for that task to be completed. Then you need to use that with, well, you would usually want to use that with this task complete goal, where this guy is going to wait for the task that was created here to be complete. So that lets you do things where you can create a task, send an email, set a timer, something or other, and then later on the journey, just wait for that task to be completed. However, it's a lot simpler to use this guy, the task one, because what that does both in the one step. It creates a task and it waits for it to be completed. Right. So I'll just walk through the workflow I've set up here. Now, every workflow is going to be different. You can be very granular and have tasks telling your staff each little thing they need to do, or you can make them very broad and have basically just do it, look after the customer. So I've gone for a fairly granular approach here. So after the journey is started, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to create a task. And what we're expecting is for the support staff to review the information that's been provided and then just make one decision, which is, do I have enough information to proceed? So if I click the settings here, you'll see I have this first outcome, which is brief is okay. Now, if I choose that, then we're just going to go straight down here to the next task, which is to design the solution. The second outcome I've got here is going to take me to an email which is going to ask for more information from the client. Now, what I can do, I haven't actually done this, but I can jump in and do it now, is we can add a field which is going to go into that email. Right? And this, let's call this more information required. Right, so let's call it missing information. Now, this is going to be a piece of text. It can be quite long, so we're going to enter a number of rows. Let's call it 7. There we go. Now I'm going to save that. Okay. Okay, so having set that up, that field, we can now refer to it from our tasks as a required field for an outcome. So what I'll do here is, so this task to review provided information, and so there's my outcome, and I'm just going to select that more information. So we'll see that in a second, that if I want to choose that outcome, it's going to ask me to enter that information. Now, the next thing I should do is actually create this email. Well, actually, we can probably do that real quick. Let's select the website, subject, and we can say your support task, more information required. Okay, now I'm just going to open that up in a new window, and let's add some content here. Now, by the way, I'm using KEditor 2, so if you're wondering where the sidebar is, that's what's going on. All right, so I'm not going to spend a lot of time here. I'm just going to say, let's choose that from the drop-down, more information. There we go. And I'll save and close. There we go. So you get the idea. You can put a nice image in there and some more information. That'll look great. Okay, now we do have a third outcome here, which is from the review task, which is just to say that it's invalid. Right? And this happens sometimes. It's just, actually they don't want that thing. All right, so that's the first part of the workflow. Actually put on that. So if that happens, we come here to end, and then we just want to select the stage here as invalid. That'll just help us with reporting later on. All right, so assuming we have got the information we needed, we've come down here to the design a task to design a solution. I've just got a single outcome from that, which is just that it's done. Then we've got a task here, which is to ask the client to proceed. So typically, you might charge your client something to do this work. So you need to give them the opportunity to decide whether or not to proceed. And it is possible that once you explain the solution to them, the client will say, well, actually, no, I want it done differently. So there is an outcome here which loops back to the design task. If the client does give you permission or authorization to proceed, then we have a task which is to actually do whatever it is that needs doing. There again, there's just a single outcome from that, which is your staff member saying that they've done it. And that will then send an email to the customer, just letting them know that it has been done internally and it's being tested. That will reassure the client. And then we have a task here, which is actually to do the QA. Now, one thing you'll probably want to do here is you may have one particular team member who does the QA. If so, just put in there either the user ID or their email address in here in the assigned to profile, and then I'll make sure it gets assigned to them. Now, for that, there's two possible outcomes. One is rework, that your QA person finds that there is some problems. Now you can have a field here where the tester is going to put that, say what it is has happened, or you can just rely on them to yell out across the office to each other. And the other one, of course, is passed. Right, so if it's passed, then something I haven't done here is actually put in an email, and you should probably want to have an automated email to tell the client. Or on the other hand, maybe you want that personal touch. Anyway, so for here, one way or the other, you do want a task where you're going to ask the client whether they accept the work that you've done. And when you do ask that question, there's two answers you might get. One is that it's fine, and the other outcome is that actually the client has wants some changes. So we've got one, the client requested changes outcome goes back to the implementation. Again, we can have a field here where we're going to put that information in. If it's all good, then we're going to send them an email, and then we're going to mark this as completed, and we're going to set the stage as finished. Okay, now that email, I'm going to come back to that later. This is a great opportunity to use K-feedback, where you just send an email with a thumbs up, thumbs down, and let them tell you what a great job you've done. All right. Now we need to see this in action. So what I'm going to do is log into our KCRM dashboard. Right, now at the moment we've got this big empty dashboard. So I'm going to edit that. And we've got a particular component which is perfect for this situation. Now, the first thing I need to do is add a container. It's just going to be full width. And I'm going to add a component in there. And this is the leads by stage component. Now it's telling me I need to select a single journey for this one. And I'm choosing support. Okay, and there it is. Now I'm going to choose full height. So it automatically expands to the available size. Right, so you can show, and you can see there's one I created earlier showing up there. And you can see what this is doing. It's showing me the different stages, and each lead is going to show in a column for its stage. So I'll close the editor and then just refresh the actual dashboard. And there you go. You can see my stages. And what we want to see them doing as a manager, you want to see them moving to the right. Okay, so let's fire away. I'm going to help me, please. Let's put our support request in. Now, because I'm logged in, it's auto-filled all my information. But this can be used anonymously, in which case those fields will all be blank. All right, so now if I refresh here, right, you can see there is my second lead. So I can just click on one of those. I can edit the information. Now, by the way, you can use some automation to set a lead title automatically based on information the user has entered. You can set these things manually. You can see it's set the stage to requirements analysis. So I'm going to save that. But what we're really interested in is down here is the tasks. So I have a task now, which is to review the information that the customer has provided. And if I'm okay with that, I'm going to hit brief OK. Now you can see it says untitled task, and that's because I'm lazy. I haven't put names on all my tasks yet, so we'll go and have a look at that in a second. Where is my journey? There it is. Now, often what you want to do is have a lot of tasks, but as you can see, it can be a little bit unwieldy to see just which ones you've set up and which ones you haven't. So that's why we've got this page here where you can just have a look at all of them. Review brief, you can see that's set up. I've got the outcomes all set up as well. Now this one down here, yeah, not so much. No title, no description, no name. The outcomes don't have anything on them, and so on. So that's telling me that what I need to do is go and put some more information into these guys. So this one here, so see, I've got no title on that outcome. Now remember, the outcome is what you get here. Well, actually, that one doesn't have outcomes. Right. So you can see these are my outcome titles. Right, now this one here, more information needed. So that's where, please give me your user ID, complete that task. And you can see that's looped around again. So that's gone back to the review brief task. If we scroll down, we can see that it is currently sending that email. And I can click view and I can see the email that it's sent. Hasn't set that. Oh, actually, I know why it hasn't done that. It's because we need to install the Journeys app into that website. Yeah, anyway, you can see also down here that it keeps a log of tasks completed, tasks created, and so on. So look, I think that covers the basics of what I wanted to talk about. There is a lot more that can go in here, particularly if you're using this as a sales tool. We support products, so you can list products against a lead and you can create quotes from it. If you're using this more as a customer service tool, you may want to use our time tracking and timesheets app. Down below here, you can create arbitrary notes, tasks, send emails directly from here. You can have templated emails set up, and of course you can upload files as well. And on the journey side of things, there's a whole bunch of nodes that you can use down here. One which is great is email delivery. If you're allowing anonymous submissions, when you send them an email, you want to be able to track whether it's actually been delivered to them or not. And you can also use add to group to tag automatically and things like that. So yeah, there's a lot you can do with it. All right, well, thank you for watching, and get in touch if you have any questions.